Okay guys, hello. How is everyone doing today? I also realized that I hit the start stream button and did not work on my setup. So I'm gonna mess with those for a little bit. So hi everybody, I hope you can hear me. Good evening, 皆さんこんばんは。今日は4月14日です。今日の目標は adjective. So today, thank you guys for coming in. It is session, I believe, session 22. No, yeah, wow. I've done 22 lessons, guys. This is session 22 of Tiger Sensei, learning beginning Japanese with Jack the Tiger. So, like I said, I pressed the start stream button, so I'm actually slightly a bit unprepared, and I apologize for that. Let me see. So, as I was waiting, I was actually filling in the kanji for everybody. So these are the kanji we went over yesterday. We went over how to write them. And Astronautics konbanwa, glad to see you here as well. So we went over stroke order for like yama for mountain, kawa for river, gen origin. Like I said, we're gonna combine these together for our lessons for genki, which is an adjective. And it means energetic, healthy. So genki desu ka? Are you like how are you? Are you healthy today? O genki desu ka? So minasan, everyone in chat. Minasan, o genki desu ka? And you can answer that with like hi, genki desu. Like yes, I am feeling well, I am healthy. Or in hiragana, hi, genki desu, like this. And I'm actually using the kanji because, like I said, we learned it the other day. So the more I use it, hopefully the more you guys will also get to start memorizing them every time you see it. I'm gonna sip some tea. Another word we learned was ten, another kanji, ten for heaven. Again, this is gonna be combined with ki to make tenki. I hope the music's not too loud for you guys. So like tenki. And tenki means weather. So if I said kyou no tenki, so like kyou for today, kyou no tenki wa nan desu ka? For the question, kyou no tenki wa nan desu ka? Like for those of you in chat, what do you think that would mean? Kyou no tenki wa nan desu ka? Kyou, like today, sorry, I gave the answer. Kyou for ima, right now, with the kanji for day. So today, kyou no tenki wa nan desu ka? Kyou no tenki wa nan desu ka? Why does this song always... this is like the... I should probably remove this one. I don't like that one. So, kyou no tenki wa nan desu ka? Like, kyou for today, tenki for weather. Kyou no tenki wa nan desu ka? What is the weather today? So, like, here in koko de... Right, koko ni... Actually, hold on, let me think. Yeah, koko de... in San Diego de... tenki wa ii desu. Suzushii desu. It is cool today here in San Diego. We finally learned watashi, the kanji, so I'm going to start using this in our notes. And I'm so happy because writing watashi in... It's a small thing, writing watashi in hiragana, but having been so used to writing it in kanji, I miss it. It's like, watashi no kanji, hisashiburi desu ne. It's been a while. We have ta or da for rice field, like Tanaka-san. Onna for woman, otoko for man, mi for more kanji we're going to use. Watashi is easier by far. It definitely is. Mi to see, i to go for like iku, miru, taberu, ta for to eat, and no for nomu to drink. So all of the kanji listed here, I'm going to start, like I said, I'm going to start using these as much as possible so that you, everyone who is in class can start getting used to seeing them. Once again, now that I'm starting, I'm going to do my little spiel about Discord. So if you would like to follow along with these lessons, I recommend you join in on the Discord. And this will take you, this link in chat will immediately send you to my server. Now, the first thing you'll be presented are the Discord rules. They're very generic, so if you agree, you click here. And you'll probably get a reaction roll alert like I just did. But then go to Role Selector. And in Role Selector, if you would like access to the Japanese channels like these right here, You will have to react again here at this bottom one. I should probably make this like add some stars or pictures to make this stand out. In general, and that will give you access to the resources. Currently, we are still in Japanese 1, so there is a YouTube playlist, and if I click here, the YouTube playlist has sessions 1 all the way to 20. I keep forgetting to update this. But session 21 is available for with the kanji and how to write that, and I will upload that tonight. This is session 22, and our goal today are mokuhyo wa adjectives. Adjectives. Yes, we will be working on adjectives today. If you are in the Discord, we are using these notes here, so you can click the chapter 5 notes and follow along if you would like. Like I said, this is the exact same document that I'm using. You can only view it because I'm still currently working on adding more to it. So let's go on and begin. So today, and because I like making my, I'm gonna insert a table, because I like making my notes nice and beautiful, and maybe a little obnoxious because of how much I'm adding, but here we go. Here we go. So we're gonna start with using, I want this bolded, god damn it. There we go. Nice, big, thick letters. Using adjectives in Japanese. And first things first, we're going to start with today's date. And this is something, I actually said the date earlier. But in chat, for those of you that are around, Kyo wa nangatsu nannichi nanyobi desu ka? Like, what is today's date in Japanese? And I'm actually going to use the kanji that we've learned. So I'm going to start this with, I'm going to make this a little bit larger. Here we go. I'm going to start with Kyo for today. Kyo wa, what is today's date? If anyone would like to give this a shot in chat. Kyo wa, what is today's date? Kyo wa? Remember, we start with our year. We start with the year. And if no one answers in a little bit, I will do it. And that's okay. That's okay if I will have to do this. Hey, そして皆さん、今日は we will always start in Japanese. We always will start with our year. There you go. 2021 for 2021. So, 2021, and I haven't necessarily taught this kanji yet, but this is nen for year. What about the month? What is the month? Remember, there are 2 ways to say the number 4, and we learned that there's only 1 way to say the month correctly. 1 second, my dog is open my door. What is the month? We are currently on the 4th month. So how would we say our 4th month in Japanese? And like I said, if no one replies, that's okay. It's plenty fair. It's plenty good. Yes, correct. Shigatsu. So we learned the number for 4, so I will be using the kanji for this. Actually, I will be using the kanji for all of this. Because we also learned the kanji for gatsu. And then today's kind of tricky because it's the 14th. How would we say the 14th in Japanese? Remember, like from our notes, all the number 4s are special. There's a certain way to say the 4th number for days of the month. Do your best. Now the fourth. I'll put the here, but the correct way to say this, and this is gonna be ni sen for the year. So kyou wa ni sen ni ju ichi nen for the year. So you got that correct. Then shigatsu. And this is, and like I said, this one's tricky. We're gonna say the 10th, the value of 10 first. So ju, and the 4 with the day. The counter for this will actually be yokka, juyokka. So 今日は2021年4月14日. And then the last question, 何曜日ですか? 何曜日ですか? What day of the week is this? 何曜日ですか? Wednesday は日本語で何ですか? Wednesday は日本語で何ですか? Wednesday は日本語で何ですか? できるだけね. Do your best. Let's see. Do you remember the weekdays? 今日は何曜日ですか? Wednesday は日本語で何ですか? How do you say Wednesday in Japanese? I actually just almost said it in Spanish. I almost said it is miércoles. I'm like, wait, no, that's not correct. So the answer is, it is actually suiyobi. Suiyobi. And the kanji, suiyobi. There we go. There's our kanji. Suiyobi. Suiyobi for our day of the week. So here we go. Let's, I know like I said, I say this many times. I can't hear you guys, but go on and give this a shot. Kyou wa 2021年4月14日水曜日. Try it again. 今日は2021年4月14日水曜日 for today's day. Sorry, Doggy wanted. Yes, it is technically Water's Day. So that sui is water. That is correct. Water's Day. It is the day for waterbenders everywhere. Watabenda no hi desu. It is Waterbenders Day. I think out of all of the elements from Avatar, I would probably have preferred waterbending the most. All right, so I'm hoping you guys are having. Like, I'm a little off today. Like, I hope you guys are having. You like waterbenders too, Zarok? Like, they're my favorite. I should do like waterbending art. Like maybe my Final Fantasy character bending water or something. Like water was the best. I like the concept of like even like the advanced blood bending. Even though we know that out of all of the elements, I wonder which would have been the most powerful. Like, fire had lightning, I don't know what else it could do. Earth had metal, and mixed with fire could have magma. Air could literally create vacuums and, like, take someone's breath away. Like, I always like Tai Chi. Yeah, Tai Chi was cool. And then water could do blood bending, but water could also freeze. Water was OP. I'm kind of surprised they didn't, you know, if there was blood bending, and you know how Katara was able to just, like, siphon water from plants? That implies that she could siphon water from people. So could you imagine she just literally just like rips the blood and water out of people and they are just like some shriveled corpse? It's like instant death. That's the she could have literally stopped so many battles by doing that. But yeah, like I came home from work today and I immediately passed out. I was so tired. I had goals of potentially like working out and going to the gym, but like no, maybe after lessons I'll try to work out. Otherwise, I'll do it on Friday. I'm becoming like it's like with Monster Hunter. I miss Meowscular, so you know what, guys? I will become Meowscular. Actually, I've been having some good progress. Not to like toot my own horn. I'm actually really liking what's happening to me. All right, so that's today's date. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should try to find a new routine too, but I should probably stick with what I have for now. All right, so using adjectives in Japanese. The first thing to note, and I'm gonna put this in italics. There are two types of adjectives that exist in the Japanese language. There are two types. And I briefly mentioned these when we were going over vocabulary. Why is this? There, that exist in the Japanese language. And we're gonna go like this. We're gonna do this. Type 1. E-adjectives. That's okay, Zarek. If you have an errand, feel free to do so. But thank you for hopping in. I really appreciate it. So, E-adjectives. There are two types of adjectives. Our first one is going to be called E-adjectives. Now, these are called... What? Hold on. These are called... Oh my god. Computer, why? E-adjectives because they all end with E. Simple to figure out, right? I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gonna have to minimize. So these are all called E-adjectives because they will all end with E. And one moment, now my dog wants to come back in. Doggy likes being in and out too. Alright, so these are called E-adjectives because they all begin with E. Or they all end with E. And they're really easy to point out. So this is where we're going to list some important adjectives. I'm gonna make a table and we're gonna go like this. So here are examples of E-adjectives. Here are some examples. And in this table, we're gonna have we're gonna do our word. Actually, we'll do the hiragana, romanji, and meaning. Now, I know that these are on the vocabulary flashcards, but because we are going over this, I feel like it's very important to list these out, especially from the ones that we are using from this chapter. So, if you do have access to the vocabulary, these are the adjectives we are going to be working on, because there are a lot. I'm gonna put them in here first, and then put the romanji in. meow desu ka? Yeah, meow desu ka? So, like I said, there are many. Let me put the romanji for this. Our first one, this is atarashi. If you look at all of these are E-adjectives. In fact, let me enter it. There we go. These are all the E-adjectives. They all end with E. And this is going to be very important very, very soon that they all end with E. Atarashi for new. Then we have atsui for hot, like weather. Atsui, again, for hot. And this is for objects. The word, like I mentioned before, the words are exactly the same, but when you use them, the kanji especially will be different. Our next one, isogashi, and this is busy. Like this is only for people or time, or people or days. Like the day was busy. Like kyou wa isogashi desu. Today is busy. Kyou watashi no shigoto no toki, my work time, isogashikatta desu. It was busy. This one, oki. This is for big, large. Omoshiroi. Interesting. Quite scary. And I am kind of going through these quickly because I think I've gone over these vocabulary words with everyone for 2 days now. If you are new, I strongly recommend you take the vocabulary list here, click here, and study them on your free time. They will really help you. Samui for cold, and this is weather. Tanoshi, this is fun. Chisai, this is small. Sumaranai, this is boring. Furui, this is old. This is uses for objects, like old things, not people. Then muzukashi, this is difficult. And this one is difficile, or is it difficile? Difficile or difficile? I can't remember, to be honest. Then yasashi, this could be kind. It could also mean easy. And then yasui for cheap. Or inexpensive. Cheap, inexpensive. So we have all of these E-adjectives that we've learned. So I'm going to go over, I know I said I'd do these quickly, but here, try to repeat after me for these. For those of you that are in here trying to learn. Our first one will be atarashi. Atarashi. In fact, let me highlight. I'm going to, while I'm doing this, I'm going to highlight the final E. Then we have, and that means new. Then we have atsui. 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 And that means hot, as in weather. Again, we have atsui. Atsui. For hot objects. Then isogashi. Isogashi. For busy. Again, people or days. Busy. Then oki. Oki. I just realized that kakoi is not in here, or even E is not in here. I'm gonna add that to the list toward the end. Now, omoshiroi. Omoshiroi. This one means interesting. Kowai. Kowai. Scary. Samui. Samui. Cold weather. Tanoshi. Tanoshi. Fun. Chisai. Chisai. There we go. Chisai. Small. And that's where, like, chibi comes from. Chibi. Sumaranai. Sumaranai. I think Osaka, but sumahen. Sumarahen. Boring. Sumaranai. Kono streamer wa sumaranai desu ne. Our next word, furui. Furui. For old. Again, things, not people. Then we have muzukashi. Muzukashi. Oh, I didn't highlight it. That means difficult. Yasashi. Yasashi. that means kind or easy, like a problem was easy. And then our last one, yasui. Yasui. And these are all the E-adjectives from this chapter. I think there may be some that I'm missing because I'm using my text. Let me double check. We're gonna open these. Let's open these. Where are adjectives? Hey Tommy, welcome in. Here you go. Ooh, I suddenly got hungry. So we had, there we go. We had atarashii, atsui, atsui, isugashii, ookii, omoshiroi. There it is, kakkoi. And notice it says conjugates like e. I'm going to be working with that in a moment. Hello. Let me add kakkoi. Then we have kawaii, samui, tanoshii, chihisai, sumaranai, furui, muzukashii, yasashii, yasui. I think that's good. So we have all these adjectives. Now, the next thing I need to tell you guys is how to use the adjectives. So, how do you use these adjectives in a sentence? And this is where it's going to get kind of tricky. So, you can use adjectives to describe objects. In fact, that's what adjectives are for. So, adjectives are used to describe nouns. For E adjectives, you will follow this rule when describing nouns. And I'll put this in a table. And E adjectives are the easiest. Well, no, they're not. Okay. So we're going to have our... We'll center this up. And I'll explain why. We'll have the adjective here, and then the noun. Just like in English, actually. The adjective first. And I'm going to make the adjective... Let's make the adjective blue. And then the noun. So, for example, let's practice. Let's practice. 1. We want to say cute... We don't have a word. Let's say scary dog. Remember, dog in Japanese was inu. If you have this open, using the chart above, how would we say scary dog in Japanese? How would we say scary dog? Again, remember, adjective plus noun. We'll have our E adjective and then the noun after it. How would we say scary dog? Hai, kowai inu. That is correct. We would just say kowai inu. Kowai inu. What about, let's see. Busy woman. Like, she's like so busy. Busy woman. Woman was one of our new kanji, by the way. Onna. Busy woman. How would we say busy woman? Busy woman. Honestly, I'm surprised that Telegram's so quiet right now. Busy woman. Hai, isogashii onna. So this would be isogashii onna. And remember, I'm going to use the kanji because we are learning how to use that. So isogashii onna, busy woman. Isogashii onna. Let's do one last practice because we have our adjectives and our noun. Let's see. Let's try boring movie. Who remembers? What is movie in Japanese? Boring movie. Boring movie. What is movie in Japanese? Movie wa Nihongo de nan desu ka? Movie wa Nihongo de nan desu ka? Hai, eiga. It is eiga. So how would we say boring movie in Japanese? Boring movie. Movie もあります。そうですね、Kitsuneko-san. Kitsuneko being that like I had a student just like you, Kitsuneko-san. She was Japanese, but she had very limited. She still had limited language from her. She was second generation, but she would always be in class, being like, "You can also say this," and she was always snooty about it. And then if I would ever make a joke, she'd be like, "Sensei, you're supposed to respect the Japanese language and be more respectful," and then she herself would not be, kind of thing. But she was interesting. She was actually one of my better students. But how would you say boring movie? For those of you in the chat, if you're using this, remember our adjectives are here at the top. Boring movie. Boring movie. Let's see, boring. Here's boring. Sumaranai. So to say boring movie, it will be... Did I just call you a Japanese girl? So desu ne. Soda. So we could say Sumaranai eiga for boring movie. Sumaranai eiga. I like that emote, Daikon wow. Immortal White Fox, welcome in. Oh, that one's funny too. So this is easy, like using it this way. So if I wanted to say, let's put these in a sentence. Let's use these in a sentence. So number one, let's say, I see a scary dog. I see a scary dog. Now remember, in Japanese, things are kind of mixed up. Our verb to see in English is right here near the front. Actually, technically it's in the middle. But how would we? Where does the verb go in a Japanese sentence? Dennis, welcome in. この授業はつまらないです。ひどいですよ。ひどいですよ。Yes, the verb will go at the end. The verb goes at the end. So we know our verb. What is our verb? To watch. To watch. In fact, it is one of the kanji we have learned. Yes, it is mimasu. So we're going to say, I see a scary dog. So watashi. And I can use the kanji. I'm so happy. Watashi wa. And we're going to use this part. We're going to use scary dog. Kawaii inu. Kawaii inu. And then we're going to put o. Kawaii inu o. And then our verb miru. Mimasu. And I'm using the kanji again because we have used this. Dennis, we are learning about how to use Japanese adjectives. So kawaii here, I said purple? No, it was blue. We're going to highlight this in blue because this is our adjective. Watashi wa kawaii inu o mimasu. Watashi wa kawaii inu o mimasu. So watashi wa kawaii inu o mimasu. Let's try number 2. say Mary is a busy woman. We'll say Mary is a busy woman. And for Mary, in Japanese, meari-san. Try to make this. What is our verb for is? Is. Our verb for is. If anyone in chat remembers. Remember, it is to be in Japanese. In Espanol, to be is like estar or ser. But in Japanese, there's only one word, and it's the very first verb we learned. What is in Japanese? Hi, it is des. Des. So, chat, try to make this sentence. Try to make this. We're using busy woman still, but we're putting it in a complete sentence. Remember, the verb goes at the end. Mary is a busy woman. Try to create that sentence in chat. Create that sentence in chat. No, I actually don't speak Spanish. I picked up very little Spanish from my own students, actually. Sorry, I took a drink and it went down the wrong pipe. I'm okay, yes. Mary-san, onna isogashi o desu. Asanonix, you're close. You are pretty close. And Dennis, yes, I do play games sometimes. Been kind of taking a break on my gaming streams for a bit. Mostly Final Fantasy, not League of Legends. Although recently there's been a lot of Monster Hunter 2. So, Asanonix, we do start with Mary-san. So, Mary-san wa. So, Mary-san wa. And remember, when we use our adjectives, the adjective comes first, then our noun. Mary-san wa. And then we're going to just use what we used here in the beginning. Isogashi. Mary-san wa. Isogashi. And then our kanji. Onna desu. Mary-san wa isogashi onna desu. Mary-san wa isogashi onna desu. When you type it, when you type onna, Asanonix, type O, you're gonna have to do like O-N. You literally are gonna be typing like, hold on, like this. O-N-N again, then na. Like, when I do it, I have to type the N 3 times. So, like, O-N, and again, then na. And then you should be able to find it like that. And then, for those of you that don't know how to write or read the Japanese just yet, this is Mary-san wa isogashi onna desu. My face is here. I'm using a tiger face. Yes, hi, Tora desu. Ore ga Tora da. There you go, Asanonix, you got it. And then our last boring movie. We're gonna use our verb. We're gonna use our verb to look to see again. So for number 3, sanban, we're gonna say, actually instead of me, Actually, let's use this in past tense. We'll do this in past tense. And I'm going to use the kanji more, so I will do this. So, I saw a boring movie on Tuesday. So this one may be tricky. Try your best to build this. I'll give you a hint. I'm gonna put my day marker first. So, kayobi ni. And then finish that sentence. Kayobi ni. Which is on Tuesday. Kayobi ni. I saw a boring movie. Try to create that sentence, chat. And Random Furry Geek, thank you for that hydrate. I'll do that now. I have tea. Ocha nomimasu. Kayobi ni. For on Tuesday. Kayobi ni. I saw a boring movie. And then you remember, use our practice at the very top to say boring movie. We say sumarenai first. Kayobi ni. Yes, Asanonix, that does work. Kayobi ni sumarenai eiga o mimashita. Correct, and you use the correct tense. So kayobi ni, and I'll put this in parentheses because you didn't use it and you don't necessarily need it if we know we're talking about your sooth. So what? Yourself. So kayobi ni watashi wa, I'll put that in parentheses. Oh my goodness. There you go. Sumaranai eiga o mimashita. And I'm using the kanji again for mimashita because it is a kanji we learned this chapter. So again, watashi wa sumaranai eiga o mimashita. And we're using mimashita instead of mimas because mimashita is in past tense. There's a difference between I see a scary dog versus I saw a boring movie. So good job on these. So let me highlight sumarenai for our adjectives. Like that. I guess I'll do it here. I spelled this wrong, that's why. I love how Google knows what I'm spelling. Although it's angry with me writing sanwa for some reason. There we go. There we go. I'll highlight these. And I should highlight these too. So, kowai inu. And then, isogashii onna. Kitsuneko-san wa Nihon no onna mitai desu ne. And then, sumarenai eiga. Now, sometimes we actually use our adjectives at the end of a sentence. We could say like the sky is blue, and so we didn't say blue sky in that case. So for like these, we're going to say like I'm gonna flip these sentences around just a little bit. So I'm gonna say like hold on, let's do this. Sometimes you will need to use the adjectives at the end of your sentences instead of describing a noun. So like, for example, number one, instead of I see a scary dog, I could say the dog is scary. For number two, instead of Mary is a busy woman, we could say Mary is busy. And number three, instead of I saw a boring movie on Tuesday, I could say the movie was boring. And we do like we definitely do this in English because I get, as an example, I just gave it to you. So I see a scary dog versus the dog is scary. Instead of we are still describing nouns, but we're finishing our sentences here with the adjectives instead. And this is where E-adjectives become very, 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 very tricky. So there are rules to this. Rules. Use this chart when conjugating, and yes, that's right, you conjugate adjectives in Japanese. When conjugating adjectives into present or past tense. And as for beginners, this may be kind of surprising or kind of a shock. So I'll try to simplify this as possible. So we're gonna insert table. And we're gonna do this because in English we don't conjugate our adjectives. We just say like the dog is or the dog was scary. We conjugate our verbs in English, but in Japanese they conjugate the adjectives instead. So this is the rule for E-adjectives, and when we get to na-adjectives, na-adjectives are much easier. So here we go, the rules. So here we'll say present tense rules, and this will be past tense rules. There you go. Yes, immortal white fox, that is correct. Using it in past tense. Past sumara. You put it in past negative. So for present tense, we're gonna do positive first. The rule, just add des after the adjective. So for example, we could say, let me use the dog is scary. So we'll use kawaii again. So kawaii desu. Pretty easy so far, right? You just add des. That seems easy, doesn't it? Just add des after the adjective. You're right. You said it correctly. Sumaru nakata. I was wrong. Sumaru nakata is correct. Now the negative. This is where it's tricky. Here's part one. 1. Remove final E. You must get rid of that final E. Replace it with kunai desu. So we use kawaii desu. So for this, we'll take kawaii, and we're gonna replace that final E. And this is why, if you look at the very top here in our chart, I highlighted that final E on purpose. So we're going to remove this final E and replace it with kunai desu. So this kawaii turns to kawa kunai desu. So kawaii, this final E. And we will oh, I don't know. And we will replace it, change it with kawa kunai desu. Like this. Any questions so far? Because this is this is a big change. This is big change. In fact, let me see. Mary, let me change this to Mary is not busy then. So easy for our positive. You just add des. Kawaii, you just add des. So kawaii desu. Just add des. Kawaii desu. Asanonic-san wa kawaii desu. Kitsuneko-san wa kawaii desu. Or they're not scary. Kitsuneko-san wa kawakunai desu. Kawakunai desu. You don't say kawaii janai. That is incorrect. Because remember, a kawaii, you would think kawaii janai desu. Because janai desu is the negative of desu. But that's not how it works in Japanese. You conjugate the adjective instead. So to say something is not scary, instead of kawaii janai desu, it is kawakunai desu. You conjugate that adjective. Now for positive past tense. Again, 1. Replace final E. Oh my gosh. Why? Stop it. Stop it, computer. Stop. Replace final E. So again, we're going to replace that final E. And then 2. Instead of replace, let's say replace it with... Jesse, welcome in. We're at the hard part. So for past positive, replace it with katta desu. Now I'm keeping everything formal, polite. So we're gonna replace it with katta desu. Here, let me move this down. So there we go. So again, we'll use our same verb, kawaii. Kawaii turns into kawakatta desu. So again, kawaii turns into kawakatta desu. For it was scary. This is so positive. It was scary. Kawakatta desu. So we replace final E here with katta desu. And I'm hoping this chart is helping a little bit. Because like I said, especially for E-adjectives, it's kind of frustrating. And it is something that you have to get used to. Now, negative. Our first rule with negative. What do you think the first rule is going to be at this point? What do you think our first rule for E-adjectives in past negative is going to be? And then Immortal Wi-Fi, you're correct. Yeah, we're gonna, once again, replace final E. And then we're going to replace it with kunakatta desu. And that is kunakatta desu. And Immortal White Fox, you've been removing the des, and that works too. That is short form. I haven't done short form yet, but that what you're using there is correct also. So here, again, kawaii turns into, oh my gosh, kawakunakatta desu. Again, kawaii into kawakunakatta desu. And let me highlight these. And this is how you conjugate adjectives, or E-adjectives in Japanese. Yay! I know, this is kind of, this is interesting. Muzukashii. Muzukashii kunai desu. So, of course, we're going to practice this. Let's practice this crazy stuff. So here, let's use our words again. We're gonna. I did kawaii, so let's try isogashi for busy and sumaranai for boring. So our first practice, we're gonna practice these again. Let's try isogashi for busy. What would be busy in present? So I'm gonna number these like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So isogashi, busy. So what? No. I don't know why it's doing this. So isogashi, busy. 1. How would we do this in I see past negative as the kunai part being of the original E-adjective and follow the same rules for conjugating it into the past tense. Like that double negative can be kind of confusing, but they do exist. So isogashi, present positive. How would we say isogashi for number 1, present positive? Isogashi. Devlinks, welcome in. Yes, Jesse, that is correct. Just isoga. But actually, Jesse, you missed something. Asanonix, you got it. Isogashi desu. Isogashi. We keep the E here. Isogashi desu. I'm doing well, Devlinks. I'm really tired after working today. Mobile too small. It's okay, Jesse. Number 2, which is the negative, and I think Immortal White Fox already. You did number 3, White Fox. I'll save your answer. What is the present negative of isogashi? The present negative of isogashi, or for busy. The present negative. Yes, isogashi kunai desu. Isogashi kunai desu. And notice that this time, I've taken out that final E. Isogashi kunai desu. Isogashi kunai desu. Let me space this out. There we go. And this is where I so prefer the hiragana katakana, because writing this in romanji is starting to get like a little confusing. Now number 3, which is past positive. White Fox already put their answer in. So the present past positive, isogashi katta desu. So isogashi katta desu for present positive. And number 4, sorry, past positive. What about past negative? Past negative. Past negative of isogashi. Yep. Isogashi kunakatta desu. Isogashi kunakatta desu. Like, seeing it in romanji is actually making me feel gross, I'm not gonna lie. It's so long to see it in the romanji. Isogashi kunakatta desu. Like, I like when White Fox, you wrote it, and I like instantly went like, kind of, because it's so much to see. And then boring. Now this will be kind of tricky. Yeah, even with the kanji, it's still kind of long. So boring. We said boring was sumaranai. So let's try this. We're gonna do this again with boring. With boring. Sumaranai for boring. So again, 1. What? No. Why? Why? Okay, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. So boring. Sumarenai. Sumarenai for number 1. For present positive. Using our rules. How would we say something is boring? Sumarenai wa. Hai, sumarenai desu. Sumarenai desu. How about something is not boring? Something is not boring. Yep, sumarenakunai desu. Sumarenakunai desu. Something was boring. We're gonna, for past positive, something was boring. And I'm getting a little confused with chat, so I'm gonna do this to split it up. There we go. Yes, sumarenakatta desu. Sumarenakatta desu. And then the last one, it was not boring. For the past negative. Yes, White Fox did all of them. So we have sumarenai desu, sumarenakunai desu, sumarenakatta desu, and then sumarenakunakatta desu. Now, this one's fun. This is gonna be fun. Try to say this with me. Our present positive. I'm gonna repeat after me. And again, I can't hear you guys. This is not like a Zoom class or anything. So repeat after me. Sumarenai desu. Sumarenai desu. Hakuna Matata. Sumarenai desu. That was present positive. Now present negative. Sumarenakunai desu. Sumarenakunai desu. Sumarenakunai desu. Sumarenakunai desu. For it was boring. Past positive. Sumarenakatta desu. Sumarenakatta desu. Sumarenakatta desu. And then our final one, it was not boring. For past negative, was not boring. Sumarenakunakatta desu. Sumarenakunakatta desu. I love saying it. Sumarenakunakatta desu. Like even when I taught this in high school, they loved trying to say this. Sumarenakunakatta desu. They're like, this is like a tongue twister. I'm like, you think this is a tongue twister? In fact, here, let me give you guys this word. This is a new adjective. Atatakai for warm. Atatakai for warm. Try this in past. Try this in past negative. Atatakaku nakata. Atatakaku nakata. Atatakaku nakata. It wasn't warm there. It's like ano tokoro wa tatakaku nakatta. That's just for fun. All right. I've been sipping a lot of tea, so I will be right back. I need to use the restroom. Thank you. That's just gross. There are some very fun adjectives in there. But yeah, I've been sipping a lot of tea, so I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I will be right back, and then we're going to finish with our last. We said there are 2 types of adjectives. The last one is going to be the na adjectives. So I will be right back, guys. Small break. Small break. Chisai break. Okay, guys, quick break for we're coming back. All right, so we talked about E-adjectives, and we can use E-adjectives to describe nouns by just putting the E-adjective in front with the noun. Like scary dog, kowai inu. We put the adjective in front of the noun. Just like in English, we put it in front of the noun. Busy woman, isugashii onna. Boring movie, sumaranai eiga. Now, I won't go into that just yet, because that may be a little too much at this point. So we can, if we put these in a sentence like, I see a scary dog. Watashi wa kowai inu omimasu. Mary is a busy woman. Mary-san wa isogashii onna desu. I saw a boring movie on Tuesday. Kayobi ni watashi wa sumaranai eiga o mimashita. Notice in this sentence, the movie was boring. It's still in past tense, but our verb here is saw. I saw, mimashita. So sumaranai eiga, we're still describing these. That sumaranai is going to stay sumaranai. Sumaranai eiga o mimashita. And then, of course, if we end a sentence with a verb like the dog is scary, Mary is not busy, the movie was boring, we use these. So before we go on to the non-adjectives, let's take these sentences again. So we said one is the dog is scary. How would we say this sentence in Japanese? The dog is scary. The dog is scary. Would we use the positive, present, we're going to use present positive, present negative, past positive, or past negative? The dog is scary. You're close, Asinonics. You're missing a particle, though. Don't forget your topic marker particle. Yeah, inu wa kowai desu. There you go. Inu wa kowai desu. Now, number 2. I changed it to Mary is not busy. Mary is not busy. How would we say this sentence? Remember, Mary in Japanese is meari-san. Mary is not busy. Mary is not busy. And actually, you can use this here to help you with this sentence. Mary is not busy. Yes, there you go, Jesse. Mary-san wa isogashiku nai desu. Mary is not busy. Mary-san wa isogashiku nai desu. Mary-san wa isogashiku nai desu. And then our last one we said was the movie was boring. The movie was boring. I'm gonna have to move this to the next page. No, what, why? Thing, why? There we go. The movie was boring. Remember, movie, eiga. In Japanese, eiga. The movie was boring. The movie was boring. Oh my goodness, I just noticed. Jesse, you gave me 2 hydrates. Alright, fine. Hydrate him. Alright, I'm gonna take like 2 gulps of tea then. Thank you for the hydrates. Alright, so again, the movie was boring. Eiga wa sumaranaku nai desu. Sumaranaku nai. Sumara na kunai. The movie is not boring. That's present negative. You're close though. That would be the movie is not boring. We want to say the movie was boring. Sumara na kunai desu is the movie is not boring. As synonyms, there you go. Eiga wa sumara nakatta desu. So for this one, Eiga wa sumara nakatta desu. There you go. Eiga wa sumara nakatta desu. There you go. Yes, the movie was boring. Was sumara nakatta desu. Sumara nakatta desu. And so that's using these in the sentence, like, and just like in English, we're putting these the phrases, the adjectives at the end of a sentence. The movie was boring, and we do this in English, and as you can see, it exists in a very difficult way in Japanese too. It just takes a lot of practice, but this is, you will eventually get used to this. I hope. All right, so that's part one, our E-adjectives. And let me copy, I'm gonna copy this. Where are my notes? I'm gonna copy this. Now there is type 2. And these are going to be our not adjectives. Now these are going to, here, I'll give it. These are called na adjectives because they, and I'm going to put this in parentheses, sometimes end with na. This sometimes is very important. You know what? No, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove that. Because they end with na. So I don't want to confuse you. These are called na adjectives because they end with na. And if you look at our vocabulary, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only have 9 of these. So I'm going to create this table again. Insert table. 1, 2, 3. Some of you are like, oh my god, what's happening? So here we're going to have our word. No, we'll have our hiragana. I'll just say word, romanji, and then the meaning. So I'm not, here, let me move this over here so I can see this. So our first one's going to be kirai na. Kirai. And I'm putting na in parentheses. And I'm going to show you why I am doing that. So kirai na. Our next one is kirei na. Then we have genki. And I'm putting genki in kanji because it is a kanji we have learned. Genki na. Shizuka na. Ski na. Jesse, genki. Daisuki na. Daikirai na. Nigiyaka na. Hima na. So we only have this many for these. So here we go. We have kirai na, which means to dislike. Like in Espanol, no me gusta. No me gusta. Like I do not like. To dislike. We have kirei na, which means it could mean two things. It could mean, sorry. Kirei, oh my gosh, kirei na, which could, this could mean clean or beautiful. Then we have genki na, which means healthy or energetic. shizuka na, which means quiet. Ski na, which means to like. Actually, I don't want to say to like, because that makes it sound like a verb. It just means like. Daisuki. Daisuki na. In fact, especially if you watch anime and listen to music, you may have heard this a lot. If ski by itself is like, daisuki, big like, means to love. Kirai means to dislike. Dai kirai na would be big dislike or to hate. Nigiyaka na would be busy or lively, and this is for places. Because remember, I said isogashi is only for people or days. Nigiyaka na is what you would use for like locations, like the city is busy. And then hima na, this would be free time. Notice that all of these end with na, and I put na in parentheses. And like I said, I will explain why I've done this very soon. But you guys can probably make a guess. I highlighted all the final E's for the E-adjectives, which means we're going to be changing the na. Hey Lucas, welcome in. We are on our second part of our Japanese lesson for today, adjectives. We are now talking about na adjectives, and we have 9 that we can work with. How did I do this up here? Did I say rule? There we go. So how do you use a na adjective to describe something? And this is going to be very simple. So I'm going to insert the table. And you're going to have... This is what you're going to do for this. And just like before, it's going to be the adjective, na, and then the noun. So you're going to keep using na with this noun. So let's practice. Let's say... We'll do one. Quiet town. 2. Energetic, or better yet, let's say healthy man. Since we use busy woman, we use healthy man this time. And then now let's say clean room. And room in Japanese, heiya. So let's give this a shot. Like quiet town, using the adjective for quiet. Where's the quiet? With na. What is town in Japanese? Who remembers? What is town in Japanese? Town or city. Hi, that is correct. Machi. So how would we say quiet town or quiet city? If you're on this, you can use the chart above to help you with this. How would we say quiet town or quiet city? Jesse, that's correct. Shizuka na machi. Shizuka na machi. Notice that that na is going to be here. This time, I am not going to be putting the parentheses. Because it must be there. This is in parentheses because sometime we will be taking this out later. Shizuka na machi. I'm not putting it in parentheses again because it must be there. You must use the na between a noun. What about healthy man? What was man in Japanese? In fact, this is one of the new kanji we've learned. We learned yesterday. What is man in Japanese? What is man in Japanese? Hai, otoko. Otoko for man. So how would we say healthy man? Healthy man. There we go. Healthy man. For healthy or energetic man. Healthy man. Yes, genki na otoko. What is all this? Okay, there we go. This will be genki na otoko. Genki na otoko. And then clean room. I told you guys that room is heya. Clean. How would we say a clean room? Clean room. Clean room. Yes. Yes. Kirei na heya. This will be kirei na heya. Kirei na heya. So, basically, when you're describing a noun, you're going to keep the whole word. You're going to keep the entire adjective word. So, like, busy city, like, nigiyaka na machi. Quiet city, shizuka na machi. The cats you like, suki na neko. The cat you like, suki na neko. The food you dislike, the food you hate, the food you hate. Dai kirai na tabemono. The food you hate. So you're gonna keep that na in there and follow this. Now, just like the E-adjectives, we do have a way of conjugating these words. Let me put these into sentences first with you guys. So, in sentences, try to say these. So one, for example, quiet town. My town. Hold on. This quiet town is small. I have two adjectives in this sentence. The healthy man is Sensei. And the last one. I have a clean room. Be careful. We have learned all these. We have definitely learned all these. Try your best. How do I say this quiet town is small? This quiet town is small. I am using this, by the way. And there is an object after it. I am combining a lot of grammar that we've learned into this one sentence. This quiet town is small. How would you make this sentence in Japanese? This quiet town is small. Let me help you guys out with this one. What is this with an object after it in Japanese? What is that word? What is that? How do we say this with an object after it? Is it going to be kore or kono? Which one do you think? Kore or kono? That is correct. You're going to use kono. So our first one, kono. And then remember, we put our adjective and noun together already. How would we say this quiet town is small? Asanonix, that is correct. Kono shizuka na machi wa chisai desu. Very good. Kono... Hold on. Why? Stop it. Stop it. Stop. There we go. Okay. この静かな町は小さいです。この静かな町は小さいです。Correct. There was a lot here. We have kono from chapter 2, our adjective. Yes, your O was the mistake because we're talking about this quiet town is our subject, so we need a topic marker for wa. Kono shizukana machi wa chisai desu. And we're also ending with an E adjective. This quiet town is small. Now try this one. The healthy man is Sensei. The healthy man is Sensei. The healthy man is Sensei. This sentence is actually the easier of the three. The healthy man is Sensei. Give this one a shot, guys. And here, let me separate this. Remember, you use particle O for the object that you are using. We are talking about the quiet town. We're not using the quiet town. The healthy man is Sensei. Oh my gosh, Foxes, you scared me. Foxes with the 3-month sub. Thank you for resubbing. And you put the answer in your chat. Genki no otoko wa sensei desu. That is correct. And I see Jesse, you have it also. And you're using the kanji. Good for you guys. Since this is kanji that we've learned, except for sensei. We haven't learned the kanji for sensei yet. So we're gonna start it with Genki na otoko wa sensei desu. Genki na otoko wa sensei desu. That is correct. Now, our last one, and this one, sponsored answer, the new trend in online learning. A sponsored answer. Foxes, again, thank you so much for that 3-month sub. I really appreciate it. Now, this one may be slightly difficult because we're using the word I have. We learned this in chapter 4. There's a way to say I have or I own something. I have a clean room. Remember, clean room is kirei na heya. I have a clean room. How would we say this in Japanese? I have a clean room. I have a clean or beautiful room. I have a clean or I have a beautiful room. But in this case, we mean I have a clean room. I see you two. You guys are. That's why I did this on purpose. What? Atashi wa kirei na heya. So I'm gonna put this in parentheses because you don't really remember this is optional. Watashi wa kirei na heya. Watashi wa kirei na heya. I want to see if the others are going to help you out with this one. Watashi wa kirei na heya. Kirei na heya. What is to have? Let's go back. Let me check. Let's go back to chapter 4 real quick, guys. Let's see if we can find it. Chapter 4 and the chapter 4 notes. Oh, there's all this stuff. Wait, what? To describe things you have or own. There you go. So, watashi wa kirei na heya ga arimasu. Watashi wa kirei na heya ga arimasu. That was chapter 4 using aru. Watashi wa kirei na heya ga arimasu. I have a clean room. So for that one, ga arimasu, ga arimasu. I did this on purpose. I wanted to see if you guys remembered. I'm just kidding. Watashi wa kirei na heya ga arimasu. What if I said watashi wa kirei na heya ga arimasen? What does this turn into? If I said watashi wa kirei na heya ga arimasen. How does that change the sentence? Watashi wa kirei na heya ga arimasen. I don't. That is correct. I don't have a clean room. Very good. All right. I'm looking at the time, and I don't know if we'll I'm gonna try to finish this. Okay. So, and just like with the other sentences, we could use. We still can use not adjectives at the end of a sentence. Also, for example, like for number, I'm gonna change these sentences a little bit. The quiet town is small. I can say the town was not quiet. The healthy man is Sensei. Sensei is not healthy. Oh, that's sad. And number 3, I have a clean room. My room is. My room was clean. There we go. My room was clean. Kind of like before, our adjectives are now at the very end. But these are not adjectives. And again, there are rules for this. Rules for conjugating na adjectives. I personally think that these are easier because they just use des at the end conjugated. They just use des at the end conjugated. And I'm not here. Let me put this in the new page so it's cleaner. So personally, I think these are des. Now let's see if you remember how to use des though. And just like before, we're gonna do a table. And here we have present. Here we have past. Now this is gonna be number 1. This is 1. This is gonna be positive. There are still rules. 1. Remove na. 2. Add. What is present positive of des, by the way? How do we say des in present positive? This is actually a very easy question. How do we say des in present positive? Yeah, it's just going to be des. Just des. Add des. So let's use, I'm going to use quiet. Shizuka na. So for this one. Shizuka na turns into Shizuka des. shizuka desu. We remove... This is why I put na in parentheses, because we will be removing it. 2. Negative. Again, remove na. Add, what is the present negative of des? What is the present negative form of des? Yes, janai des. We're gonna add janai des. Or more politely, you could say, more conservatively. This is the old-fashioned. You could say ja arimasen. So again, shizuka na turns into shizuka janai desu. Let's see, can I remove? There you go. Shizuka na turns into shizuka janai desu. Because we are literally just conjugating des at this point. Let's try past. Past positive. Again, remove na. Add, what is past positive of des? Let's see if you guys remember. Past positive of des. Yeah, Jesse, you're close. That's past negative. That would be past negative. What is past positive? What is past positive of des? If I put the answer in, you're probably gonna be like, "Oh, I should have known that," because I think you know it. You're just like having like a brain fart or something. There you go, deshita Asanonics. Add deshita. So again, shizuka na turns into shizuka deshita. Shizuka deshita. And then, of course, the past negative. Again, remove na. Add, what is the past negative of deshita? And now you can say it again, Jesse. What is past negative of deshita? Of des, sorry. Past negative of des. Janakatta desu, that is correct. And add janakatta desu. Or again, conservatively, ja arimasen deshita. So for that we have shizuka na turns into shizuka janakatta desu. That's a lot to say. Shizuka janakatta desu. And this is why I personally think that conjugating na adjectives is a lot easier, because all you really need to know is des. Whereas compared to the E adjective, there's like several things you need to do. Remove final E, add in kunai desu, katta desu, or kunakatta desu, kind of thing. Like, between the two, this one's the easier to remember. So, our sentences again. I'm gonna copy this. The town was not quiet. How would we, we're gonna use, remember, quiet, shizuka na. The town was not quiet. And actually, I am going like over my time by a lot today. Like I said, this is a lot. So I think I'm gonna continue this more tomorrow. But I think, like, what do you guys think? Do you think between the two, which one do you think is easier? E-adjectives or the not adjectives? Which one do you prefer? Nah, of course, yes. I'm in the same boat. I very much prefer nah. Jesse, you like the E? You like the E adjectives. Okay, so it is, whatchamacallit? It is, Wednesday. Where is, isn't there a study group today on Wednesday? You know what, since, let's go in and finish these. I know I am overtime, but we can do it. The town was not quiet. So remember, we're using our adjective, shizuka. We used it before. Shizuka na. So quiet, shizuka. How would we say the town was not quiet? The town was not quiet. The town was not quiet. Actually, here. Oh, I did that example earlier, Foxes. I did that exact same answer example earlier. Atatakakatta. Atatakakatta or atatakakunakatta. Let me change, instead of the town, we'll say this town was not quiet. So it's similar to our previous sentence. This town was not quiet. This town was not quiet. この町は静かじゃなかったです. Yes, very good. This town was not quiet. So, この町, this town. この町は静かじゃなかったです. This town was not quiet. この町は静かじゃなかったです. Very good. This town was not quiet. We did the past negative. This town was not quiet. この町は静かじゃなかったです. What about Sensei is not healthy? I hope this does not happen. Sensei is not healthy. Sensei is not healthy. Sensei is not healthy or energetic. Sensei is not healthy or energetic. Sensei is not healthy. Remember, healthy, genki na. Or Sensei is not healthy. That's right. Sensei wa genki janai desu. Sensei wa genki janai desu. That would be very sad day. Sensei wa genki janai desu. That would be a sad day. Sensei wa genki janai desu. Hi, and then our last one. My room was clean. My room was clean. This is easier than our previous one where, like, I have a clean room. This is just my room was clean. My room was clean. Remember, clean. Kirei. Kirei na. You can find it up here. Kirei na. My room was clean. My room was clean. Jesse, correct. Watashi no heya wa kirei deshita. Watashi no heya, because we're saying it's my room. Remember, to show possessive, like if you own or there's a relationship between these two things, yourself and your room. My room wa kirei deshita. My room was clean. So watashi no heya wa kirei deshita. That is correct. Watashi no heya wa kirei deshita. I'll say these slowly, so if you guys want to try practicing these. So this town was not quiet. Number 1. Kono machi wa shizuka janakatta desu. Kono machi wa shizuka janakatta desu. Number 2. Sensei is not healthy. Sensei wa genki janai desu. Sensei wa genki janai desu. And then the last one. My room was clean. Watashi no heya wa kirei deshita. Watashi no heya wa kirei deshita. And that's it, guys. We practice adjectives in Japanese today. We practice both e and na adjectives. For extra practice, I will definitely be putting these in the Discord in the Japanese 1 practice. It'll be similar to these questions where you had to conjugate the verbs. Only I will be asking you to conjugate some different adjectives. So use the notes for the practice. Follow these rules, specifically this chart for na adjectives and this chart for e adjectives, to help you complete the work. It's gonna be a lot. But the more you use it, the more better, the more practice you get, the better you can get at learning these Japanese adjectives. For our raid, we're going to raid Kitsuneko-san. She has started her Japanese streams, and our raid message will be, let's see. Kitsune wa kirei desu. That would be our raid message. Kitsune wa kirei desu. I'm gonna do the Japanese one, so you can copy paste it and add what emotes you want. I'm gonna put my Jack Heart emote. So mine's gonna look like this. Kitsune wa kirei desu. That would be my raid message. So thank you guys for coming in. That will be our raid message for today, using an adjective that we learned today. Wow, there was a lot of you in here today. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Dennis, thank you for the 1 bit if you're still in here. Thank you guys for the multiple hydrates. And Foxes, again, thank you so much for the resub at tier 1 for 3 months. That will be it for today's lessons. Saturday's lesson. Saturday's lesson. Thank you for the hydrate again. I'm going to take another sip of tea. Actually, let me check. What are we going to do on Saturday? We have adjectives today. We're going to practice using the 2 adjectives to like skina and kiraina, because there's a special way that you use those adjectives. So we will do that on Saturday for Saturday's lesson. All right, thank you guys for coming in again. We will raid out very shortly. I'll catch you guys later. Sayonara.
As an announcement, you may have noticed